Hey, it's Giuseppe with Zenith Home Loans. I hope you're doing great. I wanted to just do a quick interview today with just one of my favorite people, Casey Cook with Northwestern Mutual. Casey's a wealth advisor who helps our family personally. And I thought the best person to really answer some questions we often get from clients. I'm a firm believer that there's a void of financial education and knowledge in our country. And I wanted to ask some questions that I get from clients often, and hopefully it'll help someone who's watching. So Casey, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Giuseppe, thanks for letting us be a part of this, and excited to share a little bit of our knowledge and education for others.
Perfect. So, I think there's a lot of people that really don't know much about financial advisors and what that entails. So what are the different types of financial advisors that someone can work with?
No, absolutely. I'll start with, there's a lot of advisors and planners that have the same capacity for their clients or can do similar planning for their clients. But I'll just list a couple that you might hear in the marketplace. There's certified financial planners, there's stockbrokers, there's registered investment advisors, there's financial consultants, there's wealth management advisors, there's wealth management planners. Mm-hmm. And again, all of those, to a degree, there's some credential pieces that are included within some of those titles, but can serve you in the same capacity that another can.
Got it. Yeah, that's a lot. That's almost seems like almost like our industry where, we're all technically mortgage loan originators, but yep. There's people that call themselves, mortgage planners and debt advisors and different terminology, VPs of this and that, et cetera. So, some clients that I talk to have shared that, some hesitation when they start to think about engaging a financial advisor is that, they're met with certain criteria, like, they won't talk to anyone unless they have $500,000 to invest, $1 million to invest. When's the right time to engage a financial advisor?
No, great question, Giuseppe. I think my answer to that would be as early in life as possible. Don't be afraid to be told no or be told, that, hey, come back to me at this stage. But there are a lot of advisors that will help in every stage in life, whatever income you're at or whatever asset level that you're at. But I always remind clients that compound interest and time value of money works really well with one key thing, and that's time. And so starting early in life as possible. And the other thing that I always see is when life changes happen. And so, for example, life changes might be buying or selling a business, or buying or selling a house, or changing jobs, or approaching retirement, or approaching your education for your kids, or getting married, or having kids, or starting a family. Those are all times that financial planning becomes more relevant for some. And so that can also be a great time to engage with an advisor or a planner.
Got it. Perfect. That makes perfect sense. So firm believer in compound interest. I've seen, so many graphs. Luckily, I saw them early on that when I first got my job that I have now and, was making, pretty close to minimum wage. I knew that I wanted to put money in a 401k, back then, which meant for like the first year I was actually living with my parents, moved back home because it was like, there isn't enough money for rent and that. So I'm going to do that. I think, similar to getting a mortgage, that first call with a financial advisor, oftentimes it can be perceived as intimidating. We like to say when someone's applying for a mortgage, they almost have to get like financially naked. Like we see a lot of stuff, we see everything. We see where they spend their money, where what they have in savings, et cetera. What does that initial call or meeting with a financial planner look like?
Yeah, so the initial call is very similar to what you had stated. Is we don't make them get naked. I promise. It's
Good.
no nakedness in there, but we call it a discovery conversation. It's really helping and us listening to understand their goals personally, professionally, and financially, what's important to them and what's not. I think the what's not is just as important as what is important, if that makes sense, because we want to really help them and guide them to a place that's important in their life. And then we share our vision for the relationship and how we can be relevant and be a value add to their overall picture. But we listen first and just understanding what's important to them.
Got it. Perfect. So in some of these calls, what are some of the most, what are some of the first things that people should learn about their finances so that you can put together a plan for them? What do you have them do?
Yeah, some of the basic things is I joke that some people want to know how to invest or how to save money, but I first remind them that you have to learn how to save money before we learn where to go with it. And so one of my ideas or recommendations that I have is make sure and understand your budget and where your dollars are going today so that we can fit in a savings plan to then allow you to grow professionally or from a financial standpoint. But an ideal budget in our world, for our clients and for myself even is it's called a 50-30-20 budget. I want to just expand upon that briefly.
Yeah, please.
There's, in my opinion, there's only three bills in life. There's a fixed expense bill, there's a discretionary or a fund bill, and then there's a save bill. And if you break your budget down that simply, in my opinion, 50% of your income, no matter what it is, can and should go towards fixed expenses in life that you have, a mortgage, your cell phone bill, your groceries, things along those lines. But 30%, up to 30% of your income can and should go towards discretionary choices for your family, the travel, the entertainment that you do for your family can and should go towards that. But 20%, 20 to 25, as I give the ideal range, but 20 to 25% can and should be saved, not just towards your savings account, but towards short, mid, and long-term goals. So learning about a budget and how it relates to a 50-30-20 philosophy, I think can be a really good first step, and somebody that hasn't engaged with an advisor or just learning about their finances can be very helpful.
I like that 50-30-20. That's easy to remember. And I like how you have that 30% for discretionary fun things, because I think on the other end of the spectrum are people that are saved so aggressively that, then they end up, they kind of postpone some of those trips and travel and fun things, fancy car, whatever it may be for them, until they're retired, and maybe they start having health issues and they can't really even enjoy those things anymore. So I like that. I know that, having the stock market near all-time highs right now, and, a lot of people that are younger maybe saw their parents and have lived through maybe two stock market corrections. I think that's a concern for people is, what if they do start investing and then the stock market corrects lower and there's, real fear around losing that money. Can you touch on diversification and why that's so important?
Yeah, Giuseppe, diversification is extremely important, and diversification to a lot of folks might just mean asset allocation. How do I have my 401k allocated, or how do I have my investment portfolio allocated? But for us, diversification is, a little above that, and it's talking about tax risk and market risk. And we know that taxes and markets, whether it be the stock market or real estate market, they're going to go and up and down for the rest of our life. There's not a control factor on that piece. And so being able to help mitigate tax risk and understand how to mitigate market risk when it happens, because like you said, markets can go up and down. It's important that you arrive well positioned at every stage in your life, no matter what taxes are doing or what the market is doing. And so we help identify other tools and ideas to help a client lower their overall risk and from a tax and a market standpoint, but still have great rates of return in that. So I think that's what diversification, for our team means.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you. That's super helpful. I mean, is there, as you start helping clients with their planning, or maybe you have clients that come to you after they've maybe worked with someone else already, is there anything that you would say is like the most overlooked part in planning?
Yeah, great question. I think that planning should start sooner than you think. I'll start with that. It should, coming back to time value of money and compound interest, but something that I see commonly overlooked is employer plans. There's great ones out there, but there's some that don't give you the full capacity that you need to be able to arrive well positioned for retirement. And so
that'd be like a 401k.
Correct. Like a 401k or a 403b or a pension plan, maybe that your employer provides. Those are great benefits to take advantage of. But a lot of times I hear first time is, I thought I was all taken care of for retirement by my employer plan. So it's commonly overlooked that sometimes they think they're all taken care of because they have a benefit through their employer, where in fact, as we look at that long term, they need to save additional dollars elsewhere to help arrive well positioned for something specific like retirement.
Got it. That makes sense. Perfect. Well, Casey, I can't thank you enough for your time and knowledge that you've shared with us. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we kind of wrap up for today? And then also, of course, if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so we thank you again for giving us the opportunity to share this time with you. And again, hopefully education is key in this, and that you have the opportunity to reach and impact more people and educate, because I think that's step one. When it comes to our team, I have a team of 3 today, Kate Stoudemire and Bo Cunningham on my team. We partner with Northwestern Mutual, and would love the opportunity if anybody has questions or thoughts or just wants to engage in a planning conversation, happy to do that. And you can introduce us via email or via, we'll reach out for a phone call and just have that discovery conversation to learn more, but would be happy to have that conversation at that time.
Perfect. Very good. Well, again, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day, Casey. Appreciate everything you've shared with us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Giuseppe, again.
All right. Talk to you later.
We'll see you.